bringing it to light here. So is that a map that we see often in ANZ?
Definitely not, and the reason is everyone hates it universally. It's generally considered a meme map. So when you pick it in a meme region, sparks kind of fly. Wava Lava, or Lava Wave as Caldor likes to call it. It's called that in ANZ because it's very memey, very, very popular on this map. And a player named Sashin was the one who coined that. So very, very interesting strats coming out.
ANZ always busting out the memes there. For Fnatic, though, you see Maiev played by Mene, Smex on Rhaegar. Murden is going to be played by Breeze. We have Sonic on that Jaina, and then Bad Benny on Blaze.
And Team Freedom in the red. We have Lutano playing that Tracer, Nazmaz playing Ragnaros, Zugrug on Anubarak, Yoda playing Junkrat, and Collusion on Malfurion.
So we heard Mike Udall, which for anybody at home who does not know, when we were talking about the North American flavor of Brax's holdout, Gale Force Esports, who Mike Udall has been the captain for so very long, and a part of that roster, they were the best in North America at this map. And this is kind of, you know, the 1-3-1 play style of getting the wave clear, using the kill potential between the Anubarak, the Tracer, and the Malfurion. It's an old school strategy here for NA, and it's really just, it feels like a lot of this is going to be how can they control those minion waves and really dictate the rotations here for Fnatic.
Absolutely. I mean, we were discussing, it's all about that solo lane at the top, but even if it is failing, it's not the be-all, end-all. You have resources that you can rotate up. A lot of what, I guess, teams find difficult in Braxis is knowing when to rotate, how to press the advantage. And as you said, if NA, if they can take, I guess, the experience that they've had in the past of playing on this map and utilize it today, they could end up with a win, a very convincing win.
And if we're looking at some of the tools for Fnatic on the other side, that maybe what can they do to be able to counter that? I think counter initiation with the Ring of Frost past a Zerg Rush is a very, very good tool, something that we've seen from them way, way back when Brax's holdout almost initially released. But also, it provides a lot of kill potential. With the max range Iceland, she can really get a good, easy slow onto one of those side laners where maybe the Task Tracer and Anubarak, or excuse me, Tracer, Malfurion, and Anubarak into a different lane, worried elsewhere, and maybe get those picks here. But for now, Fnatic has been very slow with these rotations, trying to match that of Freedom. Understandably so, though. Again, with the wave clear and the unique laning situation, this is going to be a game of kind of cat and mouse, it feels like.
It is. They're leaving Ragnaros to clear in that bot lane, and then they've spent the resources into the top lane, see if they can get a kill, use that numbers advantage.
Good tether. Gonna pull in. Jaina's pulling down the Blizzard. We see Collusion out a bit too far. The damage is gonna be there. Not even need the Stormbolt. First blood over to Fnatic, but the Pulse Bomb, it drops, recall used. And Fnatic makes it out 1-for-0 trade and showing it, getting first blood here over NA.
Breeze was so low, and I mean, this is exactly what Fnatic wanted, though. They had that bottom lane with the Merc camp pushing down, and then they rotated up, they got the kill. And it didn't matter that they had to spend so many people to get it. The kill just means that now they can recapture this and push that bottom lane a lot harder.
Blaze, he's out a bit too far here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out. Nice body blocking there from Zugrug. It's just all whether or not you can kind of round that model of Blaze, but both of them with the kind of a Kitty Wampus awkwardly large frame there. Zugrug not able to get that skirmish, but I'm happy to see the Fnatic's able to at least get that early kill here. Obviously, it's going to be important that they keep that up because we talked about the compositional strength. I think Udall broke it down perfectly on the analyst desk about how this is going to be played out. But if, you know, we saw Freedom, they got that camp, and then we saw them apply the pressure, right? That's where they were able to get that kind of skirmish into one aspect. I think that's going to be very important for Fnatic in the inverse, right? Because they are going to be the ones matching Freedom. They should be looking to get the camp, and then that's their window of opportunity to find the kills.
Yeah, pretty much as you were saying, Fnatic, the macro game that they have, that's something that they really need to utilize because that's what they have over Team Freedom. That's what they've always been known for, a lot of those European teams. So utilize that to the best of their advantage. And you were talking about momentum as well. It's so important in a game like this, on a map like Braxis. You want that early game momentum because you can very easily snowball it.
This is bottom altar and actually top for a second there going to be captured for Fnatic. Only 6% though, and that is kind of the plight here of Brax's holdout. You have to be able to control both of those altars for quite some time. Bad Benny making his move up towards top here, but this is, I expect this laning phase to happen for some time. I do appreciate that Fnatic has been able to kind of slow that down, and I expect them to be really aggressive post-10 here. The fact that they are even just kind of holding their own and not letting this Zerg Rush monopolize for Freedom with a laning dominance that they have is more of a win for Fnatic than surely that of Freedom.
Yeah, what I'm really seeing is these skirmishes that Nazmaz, he's going to get picked up for free there, just stuck in the rotation trying to get back into his team. Zugrug looked like they were trying to make a pick, didn't have enough burst damage. Instead, they paid the price.
That was a very good job there, and a bit of, Sonic able to highlight that, Jaina, she hits any kind of a slow in those massive areas. Yes, they had the Maiev there with the tether to be able to help out, but I mean, if you're any hero in the game, if you have to use a gap closer to get away from her. She has near 100% uptime with that passive, no matter what build she moves into. Yeah,
I'm really interested as well. Looking at Sonic's build, he picked up that Fingers of Frost as well, looking to utilize the regen globes, meaning that he can spend as much time as possible in lane bullying. But what I've been seeing from Fnatic is kind of the opposite. They are rotating in the lane, yes, but where they're picking these fights are the rotations that they're saying. So as I said, these off-lane fights that are sort of occurring.
Breeze sniffed out here. And just the fact that was Breeze kind of off on his own on an island here, and that Freedom doesn't immediately initiate. The 1-3-1 strategy does not thrive unless it is extremely, extremely aggressive with the 3-man. And Freedom, in multiple cases of finding threes kind of off on the island, is not getting those kills. So much so that Fnatic's gotten the first two. Looking for a third there. Burrow charge on out, and Zugrug's going to be able to dodge the tether. And it looks like Ragnaros is going to go ahead and capture that bottom shrine. So once again, at a bit of a stalemate here, Vandy, over these percentages of Zerg Rush.
Yeah, I mean, the beacon progress we've been looking at, it's been going up painfully slow. Fnatic has been getting the kills, yes, but Team Freedom have been doing so well to make sure that they're still maintaining the beacons, maintaining the objective. Do not want to be letting that one go.
Jaina's getting caught in rotation with Tracer there. They're actually committing to a bit more skirmish onto Mene. Tracer was actually catching Lutano in that choke, and I can't help but feel like that should have been the focus for them. But without that, once again, Fnatic find themselves at even footing. Freedom was able to push both off of top and bottom altars here, now accumulating some of that percentage for the first time in a long while. But the fact that Fnatic has been able to stall this out and keep this pretty even with the aggressive laning, I cannot say more. It is very impressive. And post-10, I feel like this game is going to go very much into their favor, because those couple of skirmishes in the unique areas that you were highlighting are going to really start to hurt when they get the heroics. For now, they're just hoping and kind of optimistic, and Freedom's playing into the hand. But later, Fnatic's not going to ask the question. They're going to demand the answers.
Yeah, absolutely. When the cooldowns start to come into play, death timers as well, that's when things get really, really scary for a team. But also, just looking at Team Freedom, there's so much respect around Fnatic as well. They're not taking the fact that they have to play with a sub today for granted. I mean, they're playing as though it's Quacknix instead of Sonic playing today.
And playing with a sub is a very unique situation, especially at a Western Clash like this, right? It is debatably one of the biggest adjustments that we have ever seen. And I have never had to do that in an international tournament, but out of the few times playing with a sub ever, it is a very huge shift in dynamic. Even though it's only one person, you'd be like 20% of the squad, that's very different. And obviously Quack plays a very key role here for the squad, but losing that one person, it changes all the dynamics of the team, even just how you communicate when it comes to decision making onto the squad. And so it's great that Fnatic here is actually winning in control, finding another kill here onto Nasmus with these rotations.
Oh my goodness, I really love the way Mene played that. He was so patient, and he really utilized that Fog of War so effectively to make it seem as though he's on his own. Benny as well, looking like he might be taking a bit more poke than he'd like to. The sustain keeping him up.
Pressure from Fnatic, and the 1v1 is going to be Maiev versus the new Barak. I don't think she's going to be able to pull ahead in that, at least not at this stage too early. But actually, it's enough to zone him off, so both shrines captured. It should be noted, though, because of that early pacing here for Freedom, 70 into 100 isn't that bad, but Fnatic made it to 10 as the Zerg Rush spawns. That was a huge focus here for them with this composition, and suddenly I feel like they have to be a lot more optimistic. And normally, you see North America bring it to Praxis into Europe, you gotta be like, ooh, can they do it? But now it feels like they've painted the perfect picture here for them to really bring the fight. And so I'm ready to see what they can make happen here now that they have this Ring of Frost.
Absolutely have, but we do have the Ragnaros to stall a lot of that Zerg wave coming in there, and a lot of that structural damage that would otherwise be taken being soaked up. But look at this as well. You have that Junkrat constantly hammering down the poke on the side of Freedom. Now these rotations, I'm expecting to see something happening now that heroics are unlocked.
Yeah, I thought for sure we would see a bit harder of a collapse there from Fnatic, but Blaze wasn't in position quite yet. Benny with that transition. We see Ragnaros keeping those Guardians alive as long as possible in order to make sure that the map objective does not spawn, and no sneaky camps coming out from Fnatic.
Both teams. Really, it's the first time playing this map on HGC for 2018 for both of them, and I feel like neither team wants to be the first to add that to their loss record, right?
I mean, absolutely not. I can tell you, Fnatic, I feel like, even though they are playing with the, obviously having the sub and having Sonic here, I feel like there's still a lot of expectations from Fan. I mean, Fnatic is a huge name, you know, within competitive Heroes of the Storm, one of the most dominant that we've had for a very long while. So even playing with the sub, these guys have such a competitive mentality. I'm confident that they will not be okay, you know, with this kind of going as a loss, that they want to try and bring their own. And they're doing a decent job here. I am interested in the fact that Fnatic, after ridding of the Zerg Rush, we see them kind of playing it safer. And again, I thought that when we saw those heroics, that would be the moment that they really are going to try and bring that fight here, but not looking to invade, not looking to poke around, and still comfortable just kind of holding their own. I feel like this is a little bit of that, what we see with the adjustment of having Sonic. That passiveness, or this passiveness that I feel like we see, is a bit of lack of confidence, and understandably so.
Now, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Sonic picking up Ring of Frost. In ANZ, we've been seeing a lot more of a trend. I'm not sure if it's also echoed in other regions, but in Water Elemental is now being picked up a lot more as well, because they're feeling that you're not getting a lot of that setup. It's very good for kiting this melee-heavy meta that we're in.
I think you put it perfectly when you're talking about a lot of that setup. And I think the biggest thing here is going to be Mene on the Maiev, right? Having the cage to be able to pull them in, make sure the Ring of Frost, if it's not gaining value itself, it's getting so many resources and panic that is going to be advantageous there. We see a huge stun on to Collusion, drops the bunker. Merton's going to go ahead and get in that. Maiev was cocooned out. Lava Wave creeping right on through here, but not getting too much damage here for Freedom.
Fireproof bunker. What are you going to do?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. You just can't deal with it. The thing is just unpenetrable.
It's OP. It's like rock, paper, scissors. You're like, well, this bunker was designed to repel it. We shoot fire back out. You're healing us.
Fight fire with fire. That is the tactic here.
Yes.
Unless you're a firefighter.
Oh, yeah.
2 seconds out from the altars. 13 talents here will be here for Fnatic, but not enough for Freedom to be too panicked. It's important that they control at least one of those shrines. Should be able to happen with the 2 versus 1 up on top, but a bottom that tether in onto Yoda, and a kill here for Fnatic, and this is a huge window now for them. 25 seconds and a man down for Freedom.
Respect that, Maiev. Oh my goodness, the bunker. Benny, what do you got?
It's not only immune to fire, it's immune to bombs too. I mean, how do we get through this thing?
Bomb shelter, fireproof. I mean, Blaze seems like he might be OP.
Blaze can do it all. You know, I don't know if I go as far as busted, but he definitely is the jack of all trades here for Fnatic, and it is the reason that they are now not only winning up in kills, winning in experience, but we find them controlling both of these altars once more. 42% accumulated. Blaze holding up on top, and now Freedom, I feel like unless they're able to push off on this bottom, and Junkrat's too far out to make that a thing, this could be Fnatic getting 100-0 Zerg.
Lutano, he's just always, whenever he can, just happy to take the free damage onto Breeze.
We see Avatar being used. Mene, Tether is going to be interrupted there. Jaina dropping the Blizzard. That's a cooldown that they need if they're going to try and force that skirmish. I was going to say, using the knockback on Junkrat right as this Avatar went down, that could have been a cooldown, you know, wasted on their end. But good job for Fnatic trying to force up there, and they find the Zerg Rush. This is now where the Ring of Frost and Cage problem comes in. This is where you can expect Fnatic to, I mean, I think they're going to expect to keep out of this and just all in past that. Here it is.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Lava Wave goes down, gets a lot of damage. Ring of Frost is going to land onto Ragnaros, getting the first kill there. That is the sub. Sonic pulling it out here for Fnatic. 1 kill is all it is here, though. But it's a very, very important one in the fact that that was the Ragnaros ridding of the opportunity for this Molten Core for a long while.
You summarized that so perfectly. Like you said, the Molten Core was out, and they got that kill before the Zerg Wave even arrived to the front wall of that keep. What that then means is that it's even stronger for the siege potential, netting them that all-important experience. They're now winning that race to level 16, and that's when you can bet Mene is going to be looking for another fight. He is their initiator.
Within this window of 16 talents here over Freedom, I think it's safe to expect Fnatic to pressure towards that top lane and make sure that they get that for themselves. That's going to control Vision very heavily against Team Freedom. The 1-3-1 strategy is dominant whenever the lanes are forced to be able to match into that kind of halfway line if you're to draw onto the minimap. But suddenly when you're losing both structures in top and in the bottom, Vision and your ability to control those, yes, you have great wave clear, but it more often than not feels like Fnatic should be able to deathball this and really force, because Mene has hit so many tethers this game.
He really has. I mean, all eyes are on him. Whenever I see him in that front sort of, I guess, frontliner and his positioning, I just am waiting to see, is he going to pull them in now, or is he going to try and juke them out, see if they can burn cooldowns? A lot of that as well as that mental game. So his positioning, always so aggressive.
Interesting choice that Junkrat made the transition up towards top here. I mean, again, it's very apparent that the 16 talent here is very far out here for Freedom. And by rotating out, sacrificing some of the experience on bottom, it just shows that they're kind of very, very concerned with where this game is going and the fact that they're sacrificing experience at easy parts of the map in just fear of the initiation from Fnatic.
Absolutely, it is fear. I like that Breeze as well, netting them as much experience as possible. It just shows how comfortable Fnatic is in manipulating vision. Something that some teams can sometimes overlook. I mean, it's a lot better with these teams playing at this level, but to always show that you're respecting your team, getting as much information as possible.
I think this is a brilliant decision-making from Fnatic. After securing that fort, double stack in the camp, and now they can use that 16. Freedom's still a long way out, and it's not like there was any free damage there onto that mercenary camp. Junkrat, Yoda, he's going to be able to throw out a lot of damage. We do see the lava wave actually being used into bottom, so that's going to prep the camp down there, so much so it draws aggro from Blaze. Bit of a cheeky play from Freedom. It buys more time in this 4 versus 4 opportunity up onto top, and it really is going to allow them to confidently have 16. But it's one of those moments where it's like, yeah, you know, was it worth it? Is it not? I don't know. You know, Lava Wave's an interesting case. And it drew aggro. But again, I feel like Fnatic here, or excuse me, Freedom might be hoping they had that Lava Wave in a few seconds, as now it's 25 out from the next altars.
It is, but I think it was so much more important for Freedom to stall that one, because now they can take an even fight. Fnatic, they only had one thing in mind. They're like, we're up a talent here. We have such hard engage. We get to choose when we want to go in. So I feel like that was, I guess, the safer play by Freedom. Yeah, they would like to have that lava wave up, but I feel like it was a necessity there because they were pushed into that corner by Fnatic.
Yeah, you know, maybe respecting that hard initiation a bit harder than I was originally. I think that's a great point that you bring up here. But the safe play is still setting them behind for a moment here as the 16's yet to be achieved. Nobody immediately got the top altar for Fnatic, so it's going to cause it to be a near even trade. 16 talents here is here. And this is going to see what can Fnatic make happen. Keep in mind that no forts exist for Freedom to really retreat to, whereas both exist here for Fnatic.
Look at Mene's positioning.
Oh, the collapse. Yoda, he drops a ping. They get the reveal. Lutana's looking to focus, follow up onto the Spirit. He's isolated, post bomb there. Breeze, dwarf toss over the wall, ends up not hitting the Stormbolt, but now he's in a bad spot. He uses the Avatar. The boss is going to unload there onto him, and the rest of Collusion way too low to deal with this. The boss will be let loose, but look at the Zerg rush, Vandy. They so cleverly backdoored both of the shrines here. Bunker not even going to be forced. At least not yet. There goes the Cocoon. Ring of Frost is going to land onto Zugrug. The Blizzard is there, and Sonic locks in another kill, keeps himself alive, and now Lutano, he's throwing out the poke here, but Collusion is on full retreat after Team Freedom loses one member and now faces a 100-0 Zerg rush.
I feel like that was just such an unfair play. Mene, I love that he was going in for the flank, but you can see Team Fnatic, they weren't ready to follow up just yet. And that was Team Freedom. They saw their chance. This was going to be where they could turn around, get a pick. The Pulse Bomb went out, and the Vault just was like, what Pulse Bomb? What are you talking about? And that's why I feel like players think Maiev is so frustrating to play against. I mean, as a player yourself, what do you think of her?
I'm gonna say she's a really hard character to deal with, and I think that's why we're gonna leave it at that. She is very, very difficult. But so is the Zerg Rush. The Lava Wave was already used. We see Ragnaros using the Molten Core as well. Both defensive cooldowns drop just to be able to deal with this. And Fnatic is just about 20 seconds out from their hard initiation. It's enough to stall out the Zerg Rush and delay, but there's still a bigger problem here lingering, and that is the experience, a full level lead. Mene throws out the Spirit. He gets the follow-up tether. Are we going to see the cage? Not yet. Patience there. Collusion has the ice block. Twilight Dream, it's used. Bunker is going to block it. Mene trying to make it back. Follows up in the Spirit. He keeps himself alive, but that is not the initiation that they want. Not even having the cage up. He's going to dwarf toss out. Ring goes down. Sonic turns things around. Oh. The sub is so clutch here. Another great play from him. 2 kills onto Freedom, and now Fnatic, the world is theirs.
Every time I feel like I'm worried for Fnatic, I don't need to be, but maybe I do because Mene actually falls in the trade there. And now with them so low, Lutano is looking to see if he can get more kills out of this.
This is a Lutano. I mean, this is Tracer's everybody's dream. Whenever you're on Tracer, everybody's low HP, they're running away. But the W there from Breeze is enough to be able to slow it down. No kills to be confirmed there for Freedom. I mean, I agree with you. It feels like every moment where it's like, oh, can Fnatic be able to deal with this type of situation? And they just have a very, very good response there. The Twilight Dream on a Mene, I thought for sure that was all she wrote for Maiev.
Absolutely, and then that Spirit just getting him to safety, then pops out Jaina, and then continues on with the fight, like tag teaming Sonic in.
I mean, he pretty much did. He was like, you know what, Sonic, get in there. And he's like, boys, I've got this. Drops the ring and says, good night, 2 members of Freedom. I mean, it was almost 100-0.
But okay, what does this say for Team Freedom? They're still going up against Fnatic. All hope is not lost. These team fights now are getting closer than ever before. And I'm worried now, with 20, if they are allowed to see 20, Team Freedom, it could be, once again, new life into this game.
20 is sitting at a realistic time frame for Fnatic over the Shrine phase, 25 seconds before it's going to come up. So that means that Freedom, I mean, absolutely needs to find a way to be able to force out the lava wave up on the top to keep the pressure there. Is not really too distracting. As you can see, Bad Benny is still sieging away. And so now Freedom, can they play this kind of cat and mouse game before the 20 mark hits? They aren't even going to look at their shrines. They do not care. They're going to go immediately get the pressure to bottom keep front wall, and they're going to try and take this fight. But keep in mind, Sonic has not only amazing Ring of Frost all game, but he's a very good hero when it comes to countering siege. If Freedom just missteps once, I expect another huge ring one-shot combo coming out from him.
There's just so much blow-up potential as well, and Sonic, he has also taken that northern exposure, meaning that if he does land that Cone of Cold, it's going to shred through their armor and make them so much more vulnerable. And that's, I guess, what we're seeing. Zagrug, he's trying to shred that Jaina, and a lot of the time that Blizzard is what's finishing him off.
This is Freedom making the transition towards Benny. They need to get this kill, and I can't help but feel like if that top fort wasn't there, it might be a realistic choice, but look at how easy it is. Benny does not worry about anything. Even with that pulse bomb being dropped there, top shrine is now going to be controlled. If Fnatic wants to move up and claim it for their own, it's going to be the choice. Nobody for Freedom can make the transition towards bottom for a long while. They're still 35 seconds out from that lava wave, and normally in this situation, you'd kind of rely on that to be the one thing to maybe cripple one of the waves and provide a vision advantage for Freedom. But as I said before, whenever you lose that double structure in the way that Freedom has for so long and Fnatic controlled the map for that long, most of these transitions pretty predictable on their end. And it's just, can they wait it out till 20?
Exactly. That's a very good point that you bring up, and what this is sort of centered around. Can they afford to give up this beacon potentially to wait for 20? They do have the Ragnaros, they do have Molten Core to stall that out, but what I'm worried to see is they might not even get a chance to use it. We have also seen, like, Nazmaz, he's getting dropped before he can even utilize a lot of his burst potential half the time.
100 Zerg Rush going to be moving in, and Fnatic starts the boss. 20 and no 20 available for Freedom. This is the best fight that Freedom's going to get in this game, and they know it. They're looking to move up. They started out. Breeze is yet to let it totally leash here. If they just stall this out and keep Freedom here as the Zerg Rush is pushing, it's going to cripple them so heavily that they lose a keep inevitably. Lava Wave is going to be used in the Wayne. We see the cage go down into the choke. Only Zagrug there. He actually uses the brush shock out. There goes the Rip Tire. It comes in. Will it get the Rip? Bunker goes down. Murden is going to get the denied. The zone is there, and there they come out of the bunker. Boss here for Fnatic, and now Zagrug gets reeled back in and immediately removed.
I am just in awe of how Fnatic is playing this, but look at this. They're not yet happy, chasing them down to make sure that they can't defend their base. There's a full Zerg wave heading to the core.
So cleverly done there by Fnatic, putting them into the checkmate position that we have known to come and love them for, you know? And that is with a sub here, with the adjustments, not having Quacknick's insane play coming out from them so far, but it is not done. 70% there onto the core. Guardians getting that damage out. Nobody able to move up. We see the Molten Core go down, Ring of Frost drop 22%, and that is it. Fnatic will take a game 1 over Team Freedom.
Sensationally played. Absolutely sensational.